Chicory, A Colorful Tale is a game that's all about creating art. You play as a character who becomes the wielder of the magic paintbrush, which has the ability to add color to the otherwise black and white world around them. The game is also thematically about creating art in general, the ups and downs of it, and how it isn't always easy. I'll explain how it does so in this video, which contains spoilers for the game's story. The conflict of the narrative begins almost immediately, with the main character Pizza in the wielder's tower noticing that Chicory, the wielder up to that point, had abandoned the paintbrush and refuses to talk about why or even exit her bedroom. Becoming the de facto new wielder, Pizza learns that a dark force has begun manifesting in the environment and must use the brush's power to fight against it. When Chicory finally accepts Pizza's compassion, she reveals that the darkness is coming from the brush itself and, she believes at the time, from her. Chicory explains to Pizza that the brush manifests its wielder's feelings when it is used, and that includes their negative feelings as well as their positive ones. Throughout the story, Chicory reveals more and more about her own insecurities. She had trained all her life to become the next wielder, and when the one before her, Blackberry, became her mentor, Blackberry pushed Chicory very hard, constantly making Chicory worry that she wasn't good enough. Even once she had settled into being the new wielder, Chicory's lack of confidence in herself continued to haunt her. As Chicory and Pizza later come to learn, the darkness manifested by the brush isn't just from Chicory, but from every other previous wielder. For example, Blackberry took significantly longer than any other wielder to choose a successor, but it turns out that she was afraid of choosing the wrong person and not being able to determine who the right one was. Chicory accepts her responsibility as Pizza's mentor and trains them to handle the darkness created by the brush. Chicory suggests that when the fight is over, the brush should be destroyed in order to prevent such a calamity from happening again, but by the end, she and Pizza learn why that isn't necessary. Everything that happens with the brush in the game could be viewed as metaphorical for being an artist in real life. The wielder is revered by all, which can make them feel like everyone constantly has their eyes on them and judges everything they create. Pizza, for example, greatly admired Chicory and considered her a personal hero before learning for themselves how difficult the wielder's duties can actually be. There's often a lot more that goes into creating a piece of art than the finished product might make it appear. Artists may worry that their insecurities about creating art could show up in the art they create, just like the darkness from the brush. However, in every instance where Pizza and later Chicory fight the darkness, they do so using the brush. This represents creating art despite one's doubts and pushing through them. Chicory's idea of destroying the brush is equivalent to an artist thinking of quitting so that their self-doubt surrounding their art will also cease, but the real solution is being honest with oneself and others about being insecure and accepting that any hardship is worth the joy of creativity. If an artist ever finds that creating art is not fulfilling to them anymore, they can always move on from it, just like wielders passing the brush on to someone else. The game ending with new brushes being created represents how artists can come together to form communities for supporting one another's work so that they can gain creative insight from one another, and so that no artist feels like they're alone in any struggle they may have. If you've played Chicory, A Colorful Tale, or otherwise experienced its story, what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what I make, the best thing you can do is subscribe to the channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.